My name is Eliza Varani, and I am the founder of the Fertility Co-Living. The Fertility Co-Living is a space where women can come and feel more supported in their egg freezing journey. We've partnered with top-tier medical clinics. We also have a holistic portion of the program so that women feel emotionally guided through the process. And then of course the other thing we tackle is also affordability. So we've made the retreat half the price of what women would pay in the US. I froze my eggs 2 years ago. My experience was difficult. It was emotional and overwhelming. There was so much information. And even though I had friends and family that fully supported me, I still felt really isolated. There was a lot of grief in the process as well for me. I think that egg freezing is often marketed as a very empowering experience, which it can and it should be. However, for many women in their mid to late 30s or even 40s, this isn't so much of an empowering experience as much as oh my God, I have to do this because I don't have any options or many years left. So there is a level of grief in this process that I really do think needs to be addressed. And I want to bring that to women and support them through it, through the Fertility Co-Living. I'm so excited to obviously have you all here. I want to start off by saying a big thank you to trusting me with your egg freezing journey. It's nothing I take lightly. It's something I take very seriously. I went through the process myself, so I know how much thought and intention, effort, and money has gone into this decision. So again, from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you.
Hey, I'm Rebecca. I'm from San Francisco, California, and I'm here to freeze my eggs. And I thought it would be a fun way to do it, basically.
My name is Lily. I'm from Tennessee, and I'm here because of freezing my eggs.
I'm Shayna. I'm from California, and I came here to freeze my eggs and have an experience along with it.
I'm Sue. I'm from New Zealand, and I'm here to freeze my eggs.
I decided to freeze my eggs because, one, my age, I'm 31. Two, because January of this year I was diagnosed with endometriosis, and I ended up having pretty immediate surgery for an 8-centimeter cyst that I had related to the endo. And after that surgery, like immediately after, my surgeon said, if you can freeze your eggs, you should do it immediately. I started seeking out options and found the Fertility Co-Living and got excited by the idea of having experience with freezing my eggs and being able to do it with other girls and not have it be an isolating, scary thing.
I hope to have positive memories associated with this experience and to have it be something that was not isolating but was kind of part of a common goal.
So my husband and I decided together because we really want to have kids, but because of our careers, and we're just not quite ready to do that yet, we're looking at probably when I'm in my late 30s or even early 40s. So I'm hoping to gain just a sense of comfort about my future. I've always been a bit of an anxious person about my timeline and just in terms of my career versus family goals. So this will be super just comforting to me to be able to make my own choices.
I know my future self will thank me. Like I do know that. And it's so exciting to start to think of the options that it opens up for me. Like that's really exciting.
At the end of these few weeks, I'm hoping to get some good eggs out of it and to feel empowered, to feel kind of like a weight off my shoulders that I took control of a situation that is mostly out of your control, to at least know, like regardless of the outcome, regardless of how many eggs or whatever, like just knowing that I tried, I did what I could for myself and took a risk and that it paid off. And I've started thinking about how wild and fun it would be like 10 years from now to see children that have come into the world from this experience and the girls that I got to live with for the next 3 weeks.
I can't swim.
Me va a dar mucho gusto poder ayudarles en su proceso. Gracias. Con acupuntura, masaje, vamos a energía, reiki, vamos a ayudar. Bienvenidas a México.
Muchas gracias.
We're gonna have this one is for you. It's a calendar. So it also it has your name here. Soup. And it says I'm Dr. Mayela Fernandez. I am a medical doctor and I have a subspecialty in human reproduction. There are several things that are very, very important during the egg freezing process. Number 1, diet. Number 2, management of stress. Number 3, knowing your body and knowing what to expect, how all of this is going to go. Also very, very important, using the medication the way it is intended to. We will explain how to use it. So the whole process takes about 10 to 12 days for egg freezing and extra 5 for embryo creation. In this whole time, what we're going to do is we're going to give you medications to make your follicles grow. So you're going to come and visit us anywhere between 4 to 5 times in those 10 to 12 days. And what we're going to do there is going to do an ultrasound and take blood work every time you come. That's going to let us adjust your medications to see that the growth is as good as possible. No? Once the follicles are ready to go, we're going to give you a last medication called the trigger shot. And what this is going to do is going to get you ready for the extraction. The day of the extraction, you will be in the surgery room anywhere between 15 to 30 minutes, so it's quite quick. After that, you go into the recovery room for about 45 minutes, and then you can go home. The idea of the clinic is called Fertilidad Integral, which translates to integral fertility. And the idea that's not only the medications and the clinic and the lab part, but you also get the holistic side of the treatment. So you get nutrition, you get psychology if you need it or you want it. We also have acupuncture and we have massages. So the idea is to get the cortisol levels lower so you have a better result.
Esta forma de acupuntura es combinación con Reiki y una técnica parecida a Reiki que se llama Yunsen. Is there pain?
It's okay. Acceptance and empowerment. And connection to my ancestors.
Something I noted early on was how insane I think it is that in the States and pretty much everywhere else in the world that I'm familiar that has egg freezing, they simply send the women home with these injections and say, good luck. And there's so much room for error in that. And it's a really expensive process. And so it blows my mind that they just think that we're all capable, but it feels very supportive to be like handheld through this process. And the Fertility Co-Living house having a close relationship with the clinic, that there is always somebody that we can reach out to. Somebody's always going to answer if we have a question. My first injection I had to do on my own was after hours, so we didn't have nurse support, but I still knew that if I needed a nurse or a doctor, we were going to be able to get a hold of somebody. In fact, we did have to get a hold of somebody to figure out the timing, and it all worked out, so it feels extremely supportive.
Even though I actually have a husband at home who I could be doing this process with, and it kind of feels odd for him not to be my support system day to day in this process. But on the other hand, it's been so cool to be with women who are going through the same thing. In a lot of ways, actually more helpful, I think, because as kind and caring and amazing as my husband would have been, he's not going through it physically, you know? So yeah, I found it incredibly helpful, and yeah.
I am so glad to be doing it in a group. I am so glad that the others are here, and you know, I also feel everyone's kindness.
I feel like I know a lot more about the process now. And I was just voice noting with a friend, and she was asking me some questions about the process that sort of prompted me to realize how much more I know now than I did before. That's really valuable, and also lets me be a resource to her and to other people.
I think my favorite moment was when Shayna had to do one of her injections outside of the hours that the nurses normally come every day. And this was a specific protocol just for her. And so the whole house rallied and they gathered around the dinner table, and we had one girl who was, holding a video from the nurses, the other one was like filming, the third one had like an alcohol swab ready, and like the fourth was like cheering her on. This is why we do this. This is why community matters. This is how sisterhood can be so powerful. This is the benefit of doing it with others.
Same, it feels weird.
Yeah.
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 Because normally it's connected.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
My name is Paloma, and I'm the holistic guide for this journey. We're doing different holistic practices. We've made a program for the girls, depending on how are they going to be feeling in the weeks to come. Every practice has an intention. So we started like with a specific ceremony for intentions and to really root ourselves for this process. Every session was thought of for them to get the best of the experience and to see how can they, with meditation, yoga practice, ceremonies, make themselves feel better for the results to be better in the end.
What I've noticed was the beauty of this experience was in the small moments. It was in the moments where the women got to wake up and go to the kitchen and say, how are you feeling? It was in the moments where the women could say, hey, did you catch what that nurse said? Or did your injection also have this side effect? It was in like the really small moments of the day that I didn't have from my experience, and many women in America and Canada and around the world don't get. They are very isolated going through this, and they don't have the emotional support of other women. So I think seeing those small moments surprised me, but also made me realize that this is why we're doing it. This is why this is so important. It's actually like the sisterhood, which is the pure magic of this project.
One surprise for me was like the level of family vibes at the clinic. Yeah, like it really felt like a second home.
I am so happy I did not do this by myself. I think it would have been much more challenging, and I'm glad that like I took the chance on the experience because I didn't know how it would pan out, and it was kind of a leap of faith, I think. So yeah, the group meant solidarity and community.
It's just such an incredible resource to have somebody advocating for you, and like anything that's individual about your situation, she's really good at figuring out on your behalf, and it takes a lot of the mental load off of you. So I'd say talk to Eliza if you're on the fence. Like, it really is helpful to have someone like her on your side.
I think that there is such a gap in care for women going through fertility treatments right now. Right now, the only available experience is the solo clinical experience for women. And here we've shown that doing it in community, doing it as a group, gives the women the opportunity to lean on each other, to help each other out with advice. The whole experience can be overwhelming, but when you have other people sharing that work, it can really ease the burden of the entire process. What we're doing here is giving women a holistic approach. It's not just what happens in the clinic. Science and technology are great, and they've come so far for fertility. However, there still is a huge need for women in the emotional and mental and spiritual side of this process. And that's what the Fertility Co-Living has been able to fill.